It's so important during recovery not to get bogged down in one single aspect, for example, like diet, because it stops you from seeing the bigger picture. Health is everything that enters your conscious experience, your relationships, what you watch, what you listen to, what you eat. All these different things have an effect. Like you put input data into a computer, there is an effect for whatever it is that's been put in there. Now, it's very easy to get honed in on diet, for example. You know, it's something we can control. Whereas we may be living in a household with somebody where we feel like we're a bit powerless, so we tend not to think about something like that. We focus on something we can control. And it's understandable, you know, you've got to give yourself a break at the same time, but understand that it's not aiding you on being so obsessive about diet. Just an example. You've got to stem back and look at the bigger picture. And the analogy I use, if I ever feel like I'm going down that track, is my body, my health is like a piece of music. You have an orchestra, you have all the musicians, all the instruments, which are the body, the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, everything about your body. And then you have the conductor, which is you, your consciousness in your mind, and what you decide to focus on. Everything that's to do with your mind impacts the body. The body's all about sending signals and having good communication with each other. It synchronizes with each other. And if your mind is in an awful place, understandable if you have chronic illness, you've got to give yourself a break, but at the same time, you have to try your best to steer the ship in a positive way, even if you don't feel like it. I know how it feels, but even when you wake up with dread, you've got to steer the boat in a positive way. You've got to just keep redirecting it. It's like a boat with one broken tail, and it's constantly wanting to go left, but you've got to keep correcting it over and over again, even when you don't feel like it. You've got to try and train yourself into that positive, grateful mindset. Because if the conductor shows up, even if the instruments are a little bit poor, you know, he's using a 30 quid acoustic guitar from a charity shop. If the conductor shows up and is in a good space, it's a massive relief for everyone else. The whole orchestra can like focus and do their job correctly. So just try not to get bogged down on one single aspect. I know it's very difficult, it's tedious, it's a long process recovering. But it's the thing that I always say, how is this helping me? How is this mindset helping me right now? How are these loops that I'm starting to recognize helping me? I don't want this conscious experience of suffering all the time, feeling out of control. So how is the things I go over in my mind all the time helping me? You've got to really make it click with yourself. But at the same time, give yourself a break and understand you're not going to just go straight up 100% success. I think that's a good analogy really, is you're on a boat, one of the tails is broken, it constantly wants to pull to the left. You've got to keep correcting it, even if the waves are smashing your boat and they're helping it go the wrong way. You've got to keep correcting it, because otherwise you're just getting lost. You've got to be sympathetic to yourself. You've got to love yourself. You've got to be your best friend, your best motivation, but hold yourself accountable. Because at the end of the day, if you look back a couple of years from now and you're still in the same position, or you look back a few years from now and you're completely life changed, what's the reason for those two decisions? No, those two outcomes. You made a decision in the moment continuously. You said, that's enough. This is enough. No, that train of thought isn't helping me. That loop that I'm constantly arguing with the same people in my head over and over again, or going over the same scenarios that happened in the past, or all these different... No. Just get rid. You know, you probably had them for such a long time. It's grooved in your head. So it's automatic. Putting a stop to them. Today. Giving yourself a break. Not honing on one thing only. Looking at the bigger picture. Realising that your ship's going to get lost if you don't stop today. Or tomorrow. Or the next week. Or the next month. Or the next year. You've just got to steer that boat where you want to go. Even if you don't feel like it. And it's the people in life that I've found that do things even when they don't want to, even when they don't feel like it, but just do it anyway, and they do it consistently, they show up consistently, always seem to achieve what they've set out to do. You know, you set out to lose a bunch of weight. Oh, you know, I haven't got the motivation today. That's the difference between the person that achieves it and the person that doesn't, is the person that does it anyway, even though they don't feel like it. Right, rambling. I'm rambling now. I think you're trying to get my drift. Yeah. No, thanks for watching, guys. And if you have a look on my community tab, I'm going to start, it looks like a Discord server for people to get chatting again. And I've got a personal inquiries email for those people that want to email me. And yeah, and I hope you're all doing well. And I'll see you next video.